Yeah, I looked over it and I didn't never sent you anything. Let me make sure to do that today. I will email you today for sure. Thanks for reminding me. I don't want to do scrolling. Two, one, two, just top. One.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity Church of the Hills. We're going to start off our service on this bright, sunny day. Hopefully everyone is having a great morning, and we're going to make this day even better, correct? Your ladder will be greater than... And we're going to start this over because this is live. I was wondering, I was like, that's not that song yet.
No.
Okay. Here we go. Your ladder will be greater than your past, and you will be blessed is yet to come, and your latter will be greater. Your latter will be greater. Your latter will be greater than your past. Your latter will be greater than your past. And you will be blessed more than you could ask. Despite all that has been done, your best is yet to come, and your latter will be greater. Your latter will be greater. Your latter will be greater than your past. 'Cause all things are possible. Possible, possible, possible. All things are possible. They're possible, possible, possible. And your latter will be greater. Your latter will be greater. Your latter will be greater. Oh, my latter will be greater. My latter will be greater. My latter will be greater. Your latter will be greater than your past, because the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Oh, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Oh, the best is yet to come. Oh, the best is yet to come. Our best is yet to come.
Thank you, Roderick and the band. Let's give them one more hand. Good morning and welcome to Unity Church of the Hills, and welcome to our online participants. If you are here for the first time, if you wouldn't mind raising your hand if you're comfortable to do that, so that we can welcome you. Anybody here? Oh, fantastic. Welcome. Thank you for being here. If you noticed, we have a QR code in the pew in front of you, or if you prefer a written card, there's some out in the foyer, but welcome. So the rest of you, if you see someone that you haven't met, someone that might have a red name badge, please feel free to make them feel welcome and let them get to know you, introduce yourself, and say hello. So today, join Anaya and Jennifer Chavez in room 139 after the service for Scan, Click, and Connect. They'll offer some tips and tricks to help you get connected with our website, and they can help you set up online giving and to find out information about our events and classes here at UCOH. And we are so fortunate that we are going to have a jazz saxophonist named Paul Klemper, and he is going to kick off our spring patio concert series on Friday, on March 27th at 7 p.m. So invite a friend and grab your lawn chairs and a snack, and get ready for some great fun and music. Parents and caregivers gather with Reverend David for Family Collective on March 29th after the service. It's for a conversation about the future of youth and family ministries at UCOH. You can share your ideas and hopes and needs for the children and families of our community. And your perspective is important as we explore how we can nurture, inspire, and support the families who are a part of our church today, and actually those who will join in the future. Oh, so we are now getting ready for the annual Easter egg hunt, and we have tons of Easter eggs, but no candy for inside of them. What good is it? The kids would not be happy with an empty egg. So if you wouldn't mind bringing some candy in between now and March 29th so that we can fill those Easter eggs, but please, no nuts or hard candies. And thank you for your sweet support. So please check the website for information about our special Holy Week and Easter services. Bring your family, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, and if you wouldn't mind, a side dish or a dessert. And then you can join us for the Easter Sunday services, and then after for the picnic lunch cookout in Friendship Hall, or if it's a day like today, out on the patio. Okay, so please make plans to join us on April 19th at 1 p.m. in Friendship Hall for UCOH Focusing Forward. It's an important opportunity to share your insights, hopes, and vision as we look forward to the future of UCOH. We'll be listening deeply to Spirit and one another as we explore where the greatest opportunities are for growth, service, and sustainability for our church. Your voice matters. So, the board will use these insights to plan and help identify the major initiatives that will guide our focus over the next 18 months. So together, we will prayerfully consider how UCOH is being called to grow, serve, and express its highest potential. And you can check the website for details. So now, please join me in the welcome blessing. We love you, we bless you, we welcome you, and we behold the Christ you are. And now, please stand up and greet your fellow community.
And if we could continue to stand, we're going to start off our service with our opening song, We Come Together. Now look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. Come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. Come together. Come together. In the name of love.
I invite you to close your eyes, open your heart and mind to this moment, and join us in prayer. In this moment, we recognize that there is only one power and one presence in this universe, the I Am, the divine presence which we are all a part of. I know that I inherit and possess all that I need to live my life from this one presence. The strength of God gives me freedom from weakness, stabilizes my character, and allows me to accomplish all that is mine to do. I do not need to ask for strength in any given moment. I just have to remember and recognize that whatever strength I require is already mine. My divine nature is imbued with the strength of my Creator, the one presence shining through me, the one power that gives me life. I have everything I need. In thinking of this, I become power. I become grace. I am that which is required. My being swells with confidence, knowing that all which is required is already mine. This thought fills me with enormous joy and gratitude for the magnitude of my gifts and blessings. I move forward in my life knowing that everything I need is already present and immediately available. There is no point or moment in my life where it is not. And so we say, thank you. Thank you for giving me the antidote to everything that I encounter in my life. Thank you for the immensity of my spirit, and thank you for the joy that is my life. I do not worry, for the joy of the Lord is my strength. Psalm 73:26 says, my flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. And so it is, and so I know it to be. Amen.
If you believe within your heart, you'll know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right, because the time will come around when you'll say it's yours. Believe there's a reason to be. Believe you can make time stand still. And know from the moment you try, if you believe, I know you will. So believe in yourself right from the start. You have the brains, you have a heart. You'll have courage to last your whole life through. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you believe in yourself as I believe in you. Believe within your heart, you'll know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right, because the time will come around when you'll say it's yours. Oh, believe that you can go on. Believe you can float on air. Oh, just click your heels 3 times if you believe. Then you'll be there. That's why I want you to believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in the magic right there in your heart. Believe all these things, not because I told you to, but believe in yourself. Oh, if you believe in yourself, just believe in yourself as I believe in you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Roderick. Good morning. If I haven't met you yet, I am David Howard, and I have the pleasure of serving as a senior minister here at this beautiful community. Thank you for being here today. You know, when I walked in this morning and sat down, there were very few people in the sanctuary. And now that I see you all, I'm so excited because your presence really does matter. The energy that you bring into this space matters. And as we come together, we co-create this beautiful energy field, this resonant field of love. And so never doubt that your presence matters. And those of you who are participating with us online, your presence matters as well. So we thank you for being a part of this service virtually as well. And so today I am continuing with what my Lenten series, which is based on the book Resurrecting Jesus, Embodying the Spirit of a Revolutionary Mystic. The book is written by Adyashanti, and those of you who have been following for a while know about this. He's a Buddhist teacher, and he looks at the life of Jesus, the journey of Jesus, from his baptism to resurrection, through the lens of myth and metaphysics and metaphor. And the way he looks at the story is that story of that evolution of Jesus and Jesus' consciousness from his human consciousness to his spiritual consciousness, or Christ consciousness as we term it in Unity, is the same process or a similar process that you and I can go through if we choose. Of course, those events in Jesus' life viewed through metaphor and metaphysics represent things that go on within us, if we're willing to process that and move through those things in our own evolutionary process. And so, before I get into that today, I do want to remind us all of the Unity Church of the Hills vision statement. And so I want to invite you to say it with me if you are willing to do that. Centered in love and divine oneness, we transform ourselves, our community, and our world. Let's say it one more time. Centered in love and divine oneness, we transform ourselves, our community, and our world. When I first came here to Unity Church of the Hills a little more than 5 months ago, I started my Sunday messages exploring our vision and mission and core values statements, because I was wanted as the new minister to understand those and to really understand where this community was coming from as you created those statements and those core values. And I wanted to be able to embody them myself. And so I started out talking about that and talking about and reminding us of these very powerful statements that this church, this community created and discerned for ourselves. And when we use the word transformation or transform, you do understand that that's not a simple thing, right? You understand that when we say we are going to transform, that's a big commitment. Because when we talk about transformation, spiritual transformation, what we're really talking about is moving from one way of understanding or knowing ourselves to a totally different way of understanding and knowing ourselves. When we talk about the life of Jesus, and we're talking about we believe Jesus was a human just like you and I are humans, and that Jesus was conditioned just like you and I are conditioned by our environment, the world that we live in. That he also was conditioned by his religion and his culture and his socioeconomic status as a human being. And that in these processes that he went through a process, a journey of discovery, of moving from that identification into a totally new way of seeing and knowing himself as the light, as the Christ. And so when we talk about that spiritual transformation in unity in our community, that's really, I believe, what we are committing ourselves to. It's not about doing away with our humanity. It's really about incorporating all of our humanity and allowing our divinity to shine through our humanity. And I believe the story of Jesus, that's what it's about. And that's how Adyashanti presents that story to us. And very often, I think there are other traditions. I grew up in a very traditional Christian tradition, and I believe, really, the words that we use when we say salvation in that tradition, that's really ultimately what that means. That we understand a different understanding of ourselves. That's what enlightenment means. That's what awakening can mean in different traditions, I believe. And very often, I think in those traditions, at least when I grew up in the Baptist church, it was once saved, always saved. You get to be saved one time and you're always saved. And there's that idea that when you're enlightened, you're always enlightened. When you're awakened, you're always awakened. It's like an event that happens, right? Well, for me in the Baptist church, it took more than one event. I had to be saved multiple times. But that's a different story. But what I want to remind us of is that in the story of Jesus, these things are linear events that happen in the story. Where Jesus goes through baptism, he goes into the desert where he faces the illusion of his own mind. He moves out of that into ministry, and then he goes into different aspects of the journey. But for you and me, very often, those things are happening all the time. It's not an event after event after event after event. At least that's not been my experience. So those awakening things happening, those awarenesses happen, and they can happen for us daily, moment by moment. And our journey toward that total transformation of who we know ourselves to be. And in unity, we call that the Christ consciousness. And embracing that and living that. And so the way I want to explore that with us today is this movement that I like to call recognition, realization, and revelation, or recognizing, realizing, and revealing. Or, as I've said, or the title of the talk today is Believing, Becoming, and Being. And what does that really mean? And I think when we see that story of Jesus where he's living this human existence and he hears the call, or hears something within him. I know that you would not be here in unity today if something within you didn't say to you, there is more to life than I may have experienced so far. Do you agree with me that there's something within you, somewhere along the way that said, something doesn't fit for me right now. Something more is happening. Something more is calling me. And Eric Butterworth, I have a quote from Butterworth, who's a great unity teacher, teacher, minister, speaker, in this book called The Universe is Calling, which is one of my very favorite books by Butterworth. He says, the universe is calling. It is the call of Prometheus, a restless urge that keeps you forever reaching for the highest and is incapable of settling for anything less. Keeps us moving, keeps us urging us forward to something more. And our opportunity is to connect with that, to believe that there is the possibility. I want to ask you today, do you believe that there is a possibility, or maybe you have already achieved it, to truly understand yourself as the embodiment of that divine essence that we call the Christ? Yes. Can everybody say yes? Yes. It's a possibility. It's a potential. It's a possibility. It's a potential within us that we believe in our understanding of the story of Jesus and the teaching of Jesus, that Jesus was one who recognized and realized that. I ran across this quote from our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, yesterday when I was reading some of the teachings from Fillmore. And he says, the process of Jesus' evolving from sense to soul was first a recognition of his spiritual selfhood and a constant affirmation of its supremacy and power. A constant affirmation of its supremacy and power. So our first movement is to believe or to recognize that idea that it is a potential, it is a possibility that you and I can fully embody, as the title of the book says, embodying the Spirit of that and allowing that to shine through us. I don't know about you, but I will share with you that when I grew up in a more traditional Christian church, it was taught that we really were unworthy, that somehow we were unworthy, that somehow we were never going to be worthy of Jesus dying on the cross for my sin. Somehow I could never prove myself to be worthy. I just had to believe. I grew up in a church that told me I was unworthy because of my sexuality. I grew up in a church that told me in many ways I was unworthy. And that could have, it can take that in. But something within me also knew at some level that was BS. You know? And what I mean by BS is belief system. That was a belief system that I chose not to hold. There's something within me, and then through learning meditation and learning going to 12 steps and learning different things, I began to hear and to understand. And then one day I walked into a Unity church and I heard, God loves you just the way you are. God created you just the way you are. I still remember, it's in my mind, it's in my nervous system, the little chant that we sing, I am as God created me. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. And really, that helped me to believe. That movement, that God is love, that I am created as the image and likeness of love. And in that awareness, I am worthy simply by being. Right? We are worthy simply because we are. We are divine by birth. And so our awareness, the believing of that, it took me a little while to really take that in. But really that, in the Jesus story, that's represented per Adyashanti when he was baptized and was raised out of the water, and the voice said, "You are my child in whom I am well pleased." And so that believing begins. And it's important for us. And for me, my journey was then, how do I then realize that? How do I take it from this believing, this mental believing, into my being and realize that truth? Well, for me, I took a lot of classes. I dove right in to unity, to science of mind, to meditation, to energy work, to all sorts of things, and to come into an awareness of that realization. And there was one Sunday, and I was in a Unity church. I was doing 12 steps at the time. I went to the Unity church that morning, and I had been through a lot of this stuff going on, and I went home. I left that day sobbing, just sobbing. And I went home. I don't really know how I made it home, but I drove home. And I got to my apartment, and I just fell to my knees. And I said to the divine, I surrender. I let go. And it was that event for me that started a whole lot of stuff. So if you don't want your life to turn all the way upside down, you might not want to do that. But that was a moment for me of truly realizing that truth. Now I've had events that have happened, mystical events that have happened for me as well, that have helped me to remind myself of that. But in the story, the Jesus story, that is exampled by the Transfiguration. If you remember the story, you may not know the story, but the story is that Jesus took Peter, James, and John up to the mountain, and there on the top of the mountain, Jesus was transfigured, where he shone, his body, everything became white, it's glowing like 10,000 suns, and the disciples didn't know what to think of it. Elijah was there, Moses was there, they had these visions. And in the story, what Adyashanti says is that's the moment that Jesus fully embodied his spiritual nature. Not just from here, not just from a believing, not just from a recognition place, but a becoming, a realization of that truth in his soul. And adding a little bit of unity metaphysics to that story, I want to share with you that Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, developed what he called the 12 powers. Those of you who have been in Unity for a while know about the 12 powers, but they are faculties that are part of our divine nature that we can access, we can strengthen, we can use our Christ nature, we can use them in our daily activities, in our humanness. And so the significance of that in the story is that each one of those powers is associated with one of the disciples, the 12 disciples. And so it's important to recognize in the story, at least from a unity metaphysics perspective, that he took Peter and John and James to this high place, faculties within himself. That James can represent for us that power that resides in the solar plexus, that is that power of discernment and wisdom. That wisdom allows us to claim and to know and to understand that that is the truth of us. When we center in that place in our solar plexus, it's like the center of us that holds that. And we can take that into our daily lives and hold that and know that. If you're familiar with the Eastern chakra system, which Charles Fillmore was not unfamiliar with, it is the third chakra, it's that place of the third chakra. That is also about that emotional self, that place where we open up and to have deeper understanding. I think that's right. So you understand that we take that, we embody that, we take that into our meditation, into our connection, and to open ourselves up to fully realizing it, embodying it, igniting that within us. Well, take a moment, if you will, and breathe into that place right there in your solar plexus, right there in your gut, where you know You know, sometimes we say, I just have a knowing in my gut. I know, gut knowing. So know that place right there that holds the wisdom. That you are divine. You are created as the image and likeness of the allness that we call God, source, life, universe. As you breathe into that, expand that awareness, as you begin to embody that knowing, realizing that truth. And he also took John with him, John is the representation of love, which is the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, the possibility of unconditional love, that energy of love that harmonizes, that holds things together, that brings things, it's a bridge in the chakra system between the physical and the spiritual. It connects the two. And so when we open that center, we open our love center, we're opening to the flow of that connection to our physical sense and our spiritual sense. And so we open that center right there in the heart. So take a moment and breathe into that. Feel that center opening. Feel your heart center just opening, and feel the energy of love radiating out, connecting you. Connecting your physicality with your spirituality, connecting the divine and the human together, harmonizing, bringing together. And then he also took Peter, which is faith, the power of faith. And in the chakra system, it's right there where the third eye is, that place where you see clearly. You see clearly the truth. Beyond whatever is appearing. I talked about that last week a bit. You see the truth when you open that center. So wisdom and love and faith, the powers that are a part of our divine nature, can help us to come into the awareness of our divinity and allow that to shine through our humanity. And so as we believe it, as we recognize it, as we become it, as we realize that truth, I like to say it is the real I is. The real I is that. And can I come into the awareness of the real I, the I am that I am? And again, it does, for me, it's not a one-time event. It is a process. Sometimes I go way back to my conditioning. I don't know if you experienced that or not. And as Ram Dass says, if you want to know how enlightened you are, go visit your family for a week. Right? So it comes back. Oh my gosh. And then I get to go through the process again. Oh, okay, now I remember who I am. Can I just be baptized in the Spirit? Can I stop and meditate and feel that light washing through me? Can I arise from that once again and say, I know I am. I know it. Can I move into that power of meditation where I ignite my wisdom and my love and my faith, and I truly can embody that? And sometimes it's a daily experience. Sometimes it's a moment-by-moment experience. So again, it's not a linear process. It's not a one-time thing that we experience. I don't think it is, or it hasn't been for me. And then when we can really know it, then how do we be it? How do we live it? You know, in the story, Jesus doesn't just come down from the mountain and radiate that energy and stay in that place of love. And I mean, he does, but he doesn't appear that way. And he doesn't ascend in that moment. And it's not about him coming into something that he wasn't already. It's about coming into the realization of who he has always been. And that's the same thing for us. It's not becoming somebody you're not. It's letting go of who you're not and coming into who you truly are, and the awareness of that. And then coming out of that, again, Jesus begins again encountering people who want to be healed, and he heals them. He never says, I healed you, but they're healed in his presence. and he continues that ministry. So our opportunity, I think, is to see the story not as just a story that happened to Jesus, not as a story that may or may not have happened. Some people, say it didn't never happen, but if we can look at the story, see ourselves in the story, and allow it to guide our own journey, the movement. And it's a movement in consciousness. They're all movements in consciousness and part of our evolution toward that Christ consciousness. That's what Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, talks about as evolution, is evolving back to the understanding of who we truly are, evolving into Christ consciousness. So I believe our opportunity this week is to think about how we can be it, how we can reveal that through our humanness. There are lots of opportunities showing up in the world today, in case you haven't noticed, for us to be the light, for us to really shine that light through our actions, through our words, and simply through our being. We talked about this a little bit in our morning unity experience. Somebody reminded me that there are people out there who are, on one side, are happy about the Armageddon is happening because that means that Jesus is going to be coming back. And there are people who are also holding that yes, there's something new is being born. Something new is happening. Something has to fall away for something new to be happening. And I was reminded, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. That opportunity of the tension, of the conflict, of what's going on is the opportunity of it. It's beautiful for us to be experiencing Lent, beautiful for us to be experiencing working up toward the crucifixion and the resurrection story, because it really is about letting the old fall away, letting our old ideas about who we are fall away, so that we can fully embrace and embody and become the light that we are here to be in the world. And that is the second coming of the Christ. You and I are the second coming of the Christ. It has always been that in our understanding of it. And so we don't have to wait. We don't have to wait for something out there to happen. What if it's really all happening right here? What if what the world is showing us is what is happening within us and within our culture and within our society? What if it's showing up for us in a really profound way that we cannot possibly miss? What if that's the truth? And what if we're willing to truly see it as that? Not to celebrate war, not to celebrate that conflict, not to celebrate people being killed, but to be aware, am I really willing to, going back to how I began today, am I really willing to be transformed? Really? Am I really willing to truly let go of how I have known myself? Am I truly willing to truly know myself as the Christ? Am I really, truly willing to be the light of the world? I think it's something that we all get to ask ourselves. You already are it. Are we willing to live it? Are we willing to realize it and be it? And so I'm going to invite us this week to ask ourselves the questions. What divine truth can I recognize today? Can I recognize or believe today? Can I truly believe that I am the Christ in flesh? And am I willing to believe that so is everyone else? Right? And maybe there's another truth that you're willing to recognize today. Where can I deepen my realization today? Where can I go into that place where I find that deep connection? If you want some ideas about that, Charles Fillmore has a great book called The 12 Powers. There's also a great book called Keep a True Lent that talks about the powers, talks about the disciples and the powers, and gives some ideas about how we can embody that, realize that. What's the other book? The Christ in Me. There's 12 powers and I can't remember. Christ enthroned in man. Christ enthroned in man is the idea about how we can use those 12 powers. And I think we have some of those, maybe in the bookstore and probably in our library. And how can I reveal the Christ within me today? I think our opportunity for that is broad. I think our opportunity for that shows up for us. How can I reveal that within me today? How can I live it? And I think we can reach out to other people. I think we can reach out to those who might be experiencing fear and worry and concern. And if you have friends who are of the Jewish tradition, we heard about some synagogues being targeted this week. I'm guessing that there's some energy for many people around that. You might hold them in your heart. If you have friends, you might reach out to them, see how they're doing. You might reach out to people who might be expressing fear and pray with them. Hold the truth with them. If you're experiencing that fear or doubt, we have prayer chaplains here today who are here to hold that truth with you. I'm here to hold that truth with you. I believe that's the power of us coming together as community. So how can I recognize, what truth am I really willing to take in, recognize? Am I willing to take it into my being and truly realize it and feel it and embody it? And then what am I willing to reveal through my humanness? That's really the story. How that comes together. How we reveal our divinity through our humanity. Through our thoughts, our words, our thoughts, our actions. How can we be it today? So transformation. It's a big word. And I think that is the whole story of Lent, the whole story of Jesus' journey. And it's our story as well, if we're willing to allow it to be. So let's take a moment, go within, breathe into that place. And I'm remembering I didn't invite you to breathe into your third eye area, that you can breathe into that place as well. To ignite that power of faith, where you're willing to see. As you open that area there in the center of your forehead, feel that center opening, that center of faith. And as you open that clear sensing, this clear seeing, I invite you first to direct that clear seeing to yourself. How are you seeing yourself? What are you believing about yourself? And in that awareness, as you begin to hold that, I invite you to allow your third eye to be open and to see the truth of yourself. See the power of faith, to see the truth of you, the Christ of you, the divine of you, the light that you are. That you are the Word made flesh. You are the Christ in human form. I am that I am. And as you breathe into that, allow your awareness to move down into your heart center. And opening again that center of love, divine love, where you hold yourself in love. That you harmonize any ideas that you might have taken on about yourself that are not true. That you love yourself right here, right now, just as you are. I am as God created me. I am the embodiment. I am created as the image and likeness of love itself. And truly breathe into that place as much as you're willing and able. And now bring your awareness down into your solar plexus once again, to that place of wisdom, discernment, where you know, and you know that you know who you are, what you are. I am that I am. And in that awareness, let's take a few moments to go into the silence, to listen to the wisdom, to open more fully and completely to the love, and to allow that power of faith to help us to see only the truth. And as you return your awareness to your breath, take a deep breath. Allow that breath to bring your awareness, drawing all the way down through the bottom of your feet, grounding yourself right here and right now. Right here, right now. I believe. Right here, right now. I embody. I realize. I become. And right here, right now, I know, and I make every choice to be the presence. With every thought, with every word, with every action. And with the next breath, bring your awareness back to the space. Feel the pew supporting your body. Feel your feet against the floor. And as you take a deep breath, just gently open your eyes, come back into the room.
Beyond ideas of right and wrong, there is a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there is a field.
where we do have the opportunity to share from our good. And I wanted to comment about that today, that a couple of people have shared with me that they are missing the ritual of passing the baskets and collecting the offering, and I understand that. Sometimes ritual can be very important, and I think very often in unity we don't have a lot of rituals. So I understand that that can be disruptive. And so I want to invite us, as we continue this experiment, to invite you to create of it your own ritual. Whether that is going within, and whether it's writing your check to put in the basket when you leave, whether that's holding and blessing the money that you are going to share as you leave in the baskets in the back. Maybe it's even the ritual of scanning the QR code and donating online. That can be a ritual in and of itself. And so I just invite you to think about that for yourself. What works for you? And just to remind you that we are very grateful for your gifts and offerings and tithes that you share with this community, because it's very important for us in the sustainability of this community for your financial gifts. So I invite you now to say our offertory blessing with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.
If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water, You feel defeated, falling on your knees and looking up for some hope tonight. You try to stand up, but you throw your hands up like you no longer have the strength to fight. You see too many sunsets, too many days, ending in the darkest night. But on your own, you'll never know, you'll never know. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water, Believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water. If you believe, they say all you need is faith, but it's almost like you've lost your way. You took a few wrong turns, took a few breaks, falling behind looking for grace, 'cause you need someone to lift you up, make everything alright. 'Cause yes, on your own you'll never know, you'll never know. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water. If you believe, oh, if you believe, if you believe.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rod. So I want to remind you that we have prayer chaplains in the sanctuary. There's one will be here in the sanctuary after service, and one will be in our chapel. If you're not familiar with our facility, you go out the door to the left, through the next door, down the hall, and turn to the right, and the chapel is at the end there. There'll be a prayer chaplain there to pray with you. For those of you online, you can call Silent Unity 24/7 to have a prayer partner pray with you. If you'd also like to write your prayer requests, please walk out the door, go to the left, and right there on the wall is a table with prayer cards you can fill out and put in the prayer box. Know that they are prayed over here and then sent to Silent Unity, where they're also prayed for 30 days. So I want to say goodbye to our online participants. Thank you again for joining us. Please know that you are important, and we're so happy that you participated with us today or whenever you might be watching. So now I invite you.
light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.